Hi, Pisces rising sign. Here is your weekly forecast starting on the 16th of March until the 23rd of March. I think this is the main event, Your entire life up to this point has been leading to this week, really. We are looking at a fated great reset happening in your second house, which is all about your finances. This is a quite a powerful week. It's about new beginnings. This is very much about having to be able to determine what you want to do in the next 3 decades, connected to your finances and how you are going to be defining of who you are and what you want to be achieving in life. Now, we have got a redirection happening in your life shortly because Mercury meets the North Node right on your ascendant, your actual life path, twice this week. At the beginning of the week, Mercury is retrograde, and at the end of the week, it's going to be in a direct motion. But two conjunctions to the North Node by the same planet, is quite a rare moment. So you might need to be thinking back to mid-February, like, did you have a contractual agreement possibility, a proposal, or a critical conversation about your professional directions, something that potentially went a little bit quiet, because this topic can return to you, but with a bit of a twist. So you might receive a message from a former client, a legal document about your own business, or an opportunity that can be shifting your entire public reputation, actually. This is a karmic rewrite of who you are, and it's kind of like relaunching yourself. Maybe it's having to face a deep truth about who you want, what you want in life before you commit to it. But things are going to start clicking within you. Aha, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to go ahead in life. So the sun is actually in your first house and making a sextile to Uranus on the very same day when Venus and Jupiter squaring and Isis and Apollo are pretty much entering your fifth house too. All happening on the very same day, but it is a breakthrough with the sun and Uranus. It's a genius idea about, for example, work matters, because the sun rules your work environment. So, and then maybe you come up with an idea of what I would like to teach about, what type of work I want to be doing. So I really love it. It's somehow about a new foundation for many of us, Pisces rising sign, potentially a project or like a professional title you might have walked away from in mid-February, and then it somehow lands back on your desk. Someone from your past maybe starts seeing this new version of you and offers you a role that fits who you are now, not who you were back in, for example, mid-February. It's a kind of like a little bit of a recall, having to rewrite how the world sees you before, let's say, you sign a big deal later this week. Now, I would say that that heavy fifth house trigger with Jupiter being there, three asteroids moving in there, maybe it's a creative hobby that you just treat it kind of like as a side hustle, but maybe this is about, wow, I can actually make money out of that if I commit to it a little bit more. So Eros and Apollo especially trying to ignite this fire within you. And the Sun and Uranus is giving you that genius idea to be able to monetize this joy for you. It's about having fun, but not just about having fun. It's about building a brand. Now, in romantic life, this could be a very magnetic position. I mean, Eros is moving in here, so you can meet someone quite significant also. And maybe it's about moving from the dating to kind of go towards this more destined type of connection. The destiny comes actually from multiple angles. On one hand, this Mercury, which is your relationship planet, is making that conjunction twice to North Node. So you can meet someone very significant. Even Mars and Jupiter trine can kind of represent that too, because Jupiter represents you. And Mercury is still in trine to Jupiter as well, but that's going to be happening next week. So it really feels like if you are single, you can meet someone significant and you are radiating more of a confidence and you are a lot more magnetic as well. Of course, in existing relationship, this is also positive, but somehow it's about rewriting, for example, our intimate life, rewriting the narratives around whether we want to have a child or we want to go on date nights again. So again, it's igniting the fire within you. So that Mars Jupiter trine, it's about taking a bold action. So let's launch a product. Let's post a high stake video, for example. Let's go on a date that feels, kind of a soul inviting, because it could all lead to a massive win for you. But remember, with that very heavy first house, you are the engine in all of these. So Jupiter in the fifth house is trying to ensure that whatever you put out there is received with a massive praise and potential profit as well. And the profit is going to be coming from your second house. Talking about the second house, I mentioned at the beginning of the video that we have got this great reset here because the sun enters your second house and it highlights your Saturn Neptune conjunction. Second house is about money and self-worth. So this is a period of time when you shouldn't be just drifting with your finances. This is about, okay, what am I gonna do in the next 3 decades to secure money? So you can be signing a contract with that. Maybe something that just secures your income for the next 3 years. You can make a firm commitment to a major investment as well. Neptune is the modern ruler of you, so you seem to be kind of like coming out of a fog about who you are, what you want, and then you're redirecting your life. Your dreams become somehow a financial reality. But without action, this is not going to work. And you need to remember that because that Sun, Saturn, Neptune type of triple conjunction is ruled by Mars. Mars is trining Jupiter. It requires a winning mindset. It requires bravery. It's kind of like you not being the starving artist anymore. It's about owning up your mistakes as well as rewriting the mistakes I have made potentially. I made in mid-January, making that twist to it and then putting yourself out there. So Jupiter is trying to give you quite a lot of wisdom here so that you can see certain type of flows. Now, maybe with Mercury, like I said, a fated contractual type of scenario could be coming back to you, and then by the end of the week, maybe we are ready to sign it. It's about rewriting your identity in completely. And by the end of the week, it should be complete. We should end the week with a clear voice, a full heart, a little bit more of a structured bank account. Maybe you have spent quite a lot of time kind of like in the clouds in the last 4 months. But that Saturn, Neptune, the sun wants you to bring the clouds down and then turn them into a potential kind of little castle based on your true version of yourself as well as an authentic type of value system. So I pretty much enjoy this for you. Now, we do have got a Juno and Uranus trine as well, which is triggering your 11th and third house. And this could be, for example, collaborating with a friend of yours who might be an expert in something. Or imagine that you have been sharing unconventional ideas online or in your local community, something a bit more on the shocking side. Um, and maybe it turns out to be kind of like true. And then all of a sudden, it might be bringing you more clientele, for example. You might decide, with a heavy first house, often we are a bit of a lone wolf. But this aspect might be telling you that we're going to have to be able to join a larger organization. But of course, not allowing them to silence your unique perspective on a different type of stuff. So you can enter a formal partnership with a partnership that is asking you to bring out your weird and innovative ideas, and those have to be kind of like presented to more of a massive audience. This can be quite a strategic alliance as well. So we partner up, we collaborate because we might be able to profit from each other. But potentially, this might be someone who is an expert in certain fields, and then you are an expert in other fields as well. What I would watch out for is spendings, because Venus and Jupiter are also making a square this week. And and of course, Venus loves beautiful things, and the money is burning in the pocket. And with Jupiter, we can be spending a lot of money, for example, on on fun elements, or on entertainment, or potentially even a boyfriend or a girlfriend as well. So, this might be a reminder that we cannot buy love. Love needs to be somehow, genuine. Um, so that is maybe potentially something, this could be even kind of like being an urge of going too big. And then we might want to be announcing something publicly, but maybe it also tells you that people are not necessarily ready to hear that just yet. Or you have got that fear there that maybe, if I say something out loud, because Venus rules your eighth house and that's the house of fears. If I say something out loud, people are gonna like back away from me. But the temptation to overspend, secret indulgence, you can feel a lot luckier than you are. It's kind of like, why not? I'm in a lucky period anyway. And then we might be paying the a price for it. The fifth house is often all about excitement, and we can be excited about a financial agreement and we can celebrate earlier than we should. Yes, this could increase our intimacy department a lot as well, or just doing a lot of pleasure as much um, as a lot of pleasure basically. Especially, I would say, when we are a little bit more on the depressed side. Then Pisces has got the tendency to actually, compensate that with spending habits. I would also say that because there's a lot of planets happening on the me side, it's very easy to get irritated, a bit more short-tempered. Or with Mars and Jupiter, we want to pursue something kind of aggressively. For example, a romantic endeavor, for example, or it's very easy to jump to a conclusion about someone, about your child, thinking that they are lying and so forth. And maybe our judgment is not necessarily clear just yet. Maybe that clarity is going to be coming to you at the end of the week once Mercury is direct and it's going to be making that conjunction again to the North Node. It's also very easy with Uranus being in the picture to say the wrong things. So we can reveal something without thinking it through. So let's count to 10. Let's listen carefully let's think about it before we start speaking, because all these can lead to certain type of disagreements. Of course, the partner, as in Mercury, is coming into you. So meaning that they are coming to have a chit chat with you about the future. And if it's not well aligned because we don't like it, then the Mars and Jupiter trine, even with a trine, but it could lead to a bit of a disagreement, even argument as well. And I would also say that, with a heavy first house, we might have built up certain type of anger and frustration within us. So maybe with the Jupiter or the Sun, all these planets are kind of connected right now to sport as well in your chart. So we want to get back to sport, and then we want to release that built up anger within our life. So physical exercise could be a savior for you. But of course, if you haven't been so enthusiastic about life, then Mars and Jupiter is actually an invitation to feel enthusiastic about something, alongside with Eros in your fifth house too. So this is your weekly energy pattern, Pisces, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.